I just try to do stuff I like to hear, just try to have fun, just try to say what I have to say, and sometimes you don't have to say much, you don't have much to say, so you just try to make it fun. I just wanted to make it fun. There's nothing too calculated, I think it just comes. So I'm Blaise Velluto, and yeah, that's basically, it's a collection of songs, of all these songs, so that's why it's called the Blaise Velluto collection.
We can go out if the weather's nice. Sail a boat across the sea. But if it rains, we'll catch a bus down to the Louvre and we'll see whatever's there to see.
Can make children if the moon is right. Send our love out in the night. I'll plant my seeds if you show me your garden. And the weeds, well, we'll feed them with the weeds. We can go out if the weather's nice. Sail a boat across the sea. But if it rains, we'll catch a bus down to the Louvre and we'll see whatever's there to see. We can make children if the moon is right. Send our love out in the night. I'll plant my seeds if you show me your garden, and the weeds, we'll feed them with the weeds. We'll tell them stories if the light shines bright about monkeys dancing in the trees. We'll teach them how to play on the guitar and to sing whatever's there to sing, and to sing whatever's there to sing, and to sing whatever's there to sing. Well, music basically, it's just a form of entertainment and of speech, I think, and it's just a way to talk other than just talking. Sometimes we talk too much, so it's just a way to spell it out. Yeah, it's fun to be creative too, eh? You just. I don't know where it's going to go next, but it'll be a little bit different than the first album, Weatherman, which was like created over such a period. But influences, the heart, they stay in you. I think, the real ones, they just live in you. And, well, you know, as I'm turning here, this guy is pretty important. Abbey Road. But then, the Bee Gees, these brothers. Especially that one. Love songs. This is like younger, these guys were younger back then. This before all the disco era. That's pretty good stuff. I have this guy, Lee Hazelwood. These three albums particularly, I think, are genius stuff. it's just the way he writes. You know, the first time I met him, well, musically, I was just out of a relation, and a big one. And my buddy said, I got this thing for you, just listen to that. And it just carried me through a lot of, I think, just the hard pain, you know? Because he sings a lot about that, but not in a too deep way, you know? I think some music is, when you're heartbroken, is so deep, and you listen to that and you just want to slit open, you know? It's just too... There's something happy about it, you know, just like move on, and things, you know, some things are shitty in life, but you can move on pretty easily, I think, if you just have the right set of mind, you know, mindset. You know, when you grow up with whatever, you remember these things. You like music, old movies. Let's say you watch Clint Eastwood movies with your grandpa, you know, it just sticks in your mind, all that info, that musical info, it just stays and never goes away. And these guys, they bring it up in the 60s. I think that's why it's just all this orchestration they use, and the sounds, you know, whatever. And it just stays there. So that's why I'm stuck with it. If we go on the rock and roll side of things, these guys are another big influence. Back when I was 15, maybe we were too much in Nirvana, Korn, you know, all that new metal stuff. And then these guys came along in my life, and just, wow, what's that? You know, all these guitars that are almost like detuned, you know, it's all sturdy and crooked. And then I said, yeah, I like that, you know, it reminds me of myself, I think. If I can say something about music, sometimes I find that I don't appreciate or don't like, is things that are too perfect, you know, like recordings that are just edited and over edited, and you just lose that feeling, that flow. There's no flow, it's just a bar, you know. These guys, they wave, they go up, and that's what I do. That's what I wave all the time. I mean, I'm no click. I believe we should all move together, and that's what makes it interesting. You know, it's the feeling. It's a feeling. Yeah.
Heartache for the weatherman, heartbreak for the weatherman, raindrops on the weatherman, bad weather for the weather for the weatherman. It's just a matter of time. Someday you will understand that it's a question of love, that we will never be holding hands. Did I mention your stance? Someday you too will understand that it ain't a crime for us to be in love. Heartache for the weatherman, heartbreak for the weatherman, raindrops on the weatherman, bad weather for the weatherman. Trying the road to happiness doesn't mean we need to cry. See those flowers on your dress, some have withered but most have smiled. Did I mention romance? Ooh, someday you too will understand that it ain't a crime for us to be in love.
I think it's all one thing. You know? It's a project in the whole. So yeah, if you're gonna see something, it has to reflect, I guess, what you hear somehow. You know. Well, to close the aesthetics of the album, it's all gonna be Super 8. You know, I think it works well together. The album was recorded on tape, and I really liked the limitations we had, and so I try to do the same with film. When I do my movies, you know, you don't really know what's going to come out. The finish, when it works, the finish is wow, it's, you know, it's palpable. We're far from CGI. This is my last one. I just tried it I just did a test for that one. I never shot a whole thing with it, but it's going to be the next one. This was the one I shot Mr. Coyote with, Mr. Coyote. The challenge with these guys is that, you know, you pay every time you shoot. Every second counts. For Mr. Coyote, I think we took 5 cassettes. I think most of them were overexposed, so we really had to work the coloration down, and then I realized that the focus was really not working. So that's what you get. But it works, you know, finally it works with the video, so. We're in the basement right now, my home, and they're, you know, these animals. That's where they live right now. I'd like to have a zoo for them or something, but fortunately I don't have the space. Well, this guy he's the harder one to put away. Colonel Moose. He appears in the Morning Dew. He had a hard time. You can see it, but he had a good time. That's for sure. Now these guys. They're pigs, if you haven't noticed, and they have their place in a pig pen. This guy, I think this guy's he's the one who gets killed. He had a hard time, really hard time. Now for Mr. Coyote, these are a couple of I think we did 7 masks at first. That's a nice one too. Now she lost her hair, but. I think we all lose our hair at one point. And of course, frills. That's Michael's favorite gum. Michael is the director and the actor of the videos. He's not here right now. I like to do things. I like to have some kind of a control. Not a control, but you know, just I like to see what's happening, you know. Yes, I think it's some kind of control, we have to say it. And I think the best way to do it is to do it yourself, you know, and for money reasons as well, you know, you try to do the most you can with what you got. The first reason actually is just because it's fun to do it, to do it all, you know. Ask you a question, I hope you answer well. The good Lord gave us senses, but this one I can't tell. Did you or did you not pretend to be my friend? Let me ask you a question, I hope you answer well. Sensitivity has made us all sensitive people after all. Have you answered my question? At this one I can't tell. The good Lord gave us senses, heard you lose your taste in hell. Did you or did you not pretend to be my friend? Let me ask you a question, I hope you answer well. Sensitivity has made us all sensitive people after all.
chicken in the hall. Glenn the rooster gave a call. Marjoram's a funny doll. Marjoram's a funny doll. She plays chicken in the hall. Glenn the rooster gave a call. Marjoram, it's a funny doll.
As we speak, I'm realizing that my first contact with a guitar is actually this one. And I never realized that before, but it is. My father had that. He's a lefty, but I put it back on the right side. And yeah, it's just a Japanese guitar, and so that's the first guy. I have to show you a guitar I bought off eBay. It's 1940s maybe, early 1940s. And the guy who sold that to me, his buddy, 40 years ago, found that guitar on a pile of garbage on garbage day. And it's a national guitar. It's called in Spanish electric. That's how they call it. You see that? So yeah, that's the story of that guitar. It's a good guitar, jazz box. It's pretty thick. You can see that. So that's the story of that one. Guitars, I don't know. They're so different, you know. And they have their own personality, and they bring you somewhere else, you know. One brings you there, one brings you that. The pickups, the tone, you plug it in or not plug it in, just how it sits on you, ooh, you know, it's how it rubs on your belly. All these things, I mean, they just bring you different places, and that's the beauty of it. Yep. Here's the one that a buddy actually made for me. I thought the recent Gibson Firebirds weren't all that nice in my hands, the ones I tried anyway. So I asked him to build one for me with some wood that I kept here. This is a mahogany neck through from here to there. It's one piece of wood, like on the original ones. But the size, the wings are actually maple. That I had in the basement for years and years. So he built that for me. And this one I tune it one step, complete step lower. It's in D. Yeah, so I do some songs with in D. I like it sings it different. I'm gonna show you one. It's just an SG, but you can't really say it's just an SG. SGs, some are really rock and roll machines. The original owner, who died unfortunately, that was his guitar back from the 70s. And the new owner, well, he sold it to me, he had it. And it was, you know, I don't know if you can see. Can you see it? There was a neck repair on it. But it was well repaired, and it's really great. And you can see also that it was originally cherry red, but this pigment was, I don't know, over time and light was really bad. You can see here. So that's it. I mean, if you want to rock and roll, that's a good tool. So you want to hear it? So I'll just plug it in 2 different amps just for the sake of it. This guy is in a Harmony, somewhere in the 60s. It's just a 15-watt tube amp, and then I'll plug it in something different. This guy's he's louder. He's much louder. Rock and roll. I don't think you can redo something, you know. Things happen, and that's the way it is. You have to move on to something else. I have songs. I have songs. I have lots of songs, but you know, are they good? Are they bad? I have to work it out. I have to make something coherent for a second LP. Firstly, when you do music, it's just to put something out that you have in your mind or whatever feelings, you know. You just have to put it out, and what happens next, you know, it happens. But you can't just go on thinking, oh, I'm gonna do that song, I'm gonna rock the world with that. And you can, but I mean, yeah, whatever happens, whatever. Your little face shows me you're sad. I know you wanna tell me something, but you can't. You're patiently waiting by the door. Wait all you want, just don't do it on the floor. I'm grabbing a bag, but I can't find my keys. Oh yes, I'm gonna take you out. Oh yes, I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna take you out for a walk. I'm gonna take you out for a walk, walk, walk.
You're wandering blindly through the room again. I know your little routine, you'll lick my hand. You're patiently waiting by the bed. Wait all you want, I won't get up till 10. I'm grabbing a bag, but I can't find my jeans.
Oh yes, we're gonna take you out. Oh yes, we're gonna take you out. We're gonna take you out for a walk. We're gonna take you out for a walk, walk, walk.
Don't worry, you can do it right here. Can't you hear the sound of that paper bag in your ear?
Oh yes, I'm gonna take you out. Oh yes, I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna take you out for a walk. I'm gonna take you out for a walk, walk, walk.
Oh yes, we're gonna take you out. Oh yes, we're gonna take you out. We're gonna take you out for a walk. We're gonna take you out for a walk, walk, walk. Oh yes, we're gonna take you out. Oh yes, we're gonna take you out. We're gonna take you out for a walk. We're gonna take you out for a
Ew.